All right. Once again, thank you for joining Upscale Media Group's X Level Podcast. We are jumping back in the booth, starting off 2021 in a extreme and happy kind of way, if you want here. I'm D Rizzle, kind of moderating this thing. I got some fellas in the booth with me here. Fellas, go ahead. Shaq, go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, Maurice Wright. No one of real significance.
All right, Reese on the top of it to my right here. Reese, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit.
Named Parise Williams. You can follow me at Akron Reese Cup on Twitter and Parise_Williams on Instagram.
All right, and we also have last but not least, an invited guest, Mr. Farron Murphy, workout guru, nutritionist, all around interesting individual here. We're going to get into some stuff here, but Mr. Murphy.
God bless Farron Murphy in the building. It's always good to be with fam.
That's right.
Real significance, you know what I'm saying? But you want to sweat, get at me. You know
all right, there it is. Well, plug it in. We don't mind that. And let's talk about where we at here. Gentlemen, we've been kind of on hold, kind of hiatus to try to jump back in, but I think it's important to kind of come back in somewhat aggressively here. So we've been obviously following the political climate, our new President Biden, what he's doing, what he's supposedly not doing, the issues he's facing. But we want to talk about the outgoing individual who occupied that space. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna call him whatever. I'm gonna leave it at that. The outgoing individual that occupied that space. Now, with that came a whole host of things. We wanted to jump on, fellas, right after the incident at Capitol Hill. We didn't get a chance to do that, but we're gonna kind of fast forward and touch into that. But I'm gonna ask everybody, what is the climate today, first of all? Second of all, what is white nationalism? What is white nationalism? Let's talk about this here, fellas. What's happening? White nationalism. What is it?
White nationalism.
What do you want first? Do you want to talk about the climate, or you want to talk, because white nationalism is kind of, to me, they just trying to preserve their heritage.
Now, when you say they, you're talking about white man in general, white.
Some white men. They want to. I guess they want to control the narrative. They don't want to be erased or replaced.
Okay.
And they can, from what I'm seeing, they can see that majority kind of slipping away, and it's in some ways it's very disturbing. No one wants to be not so much exterminated, but kind of washed away, because you lose that power and that privilege.
It's power, right? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
exactly.
I think that it's kind of. You talk about white nationalism and Black Lives Matter. In some cases, depending on who you talk to, some people think that's two sides of the same coin. So it just depends. Depends on you, the individual.
My thing is with Black Lives Matters. People just trying to survive without getting killed. As far as the white nationalism, I mean, they're instigating stuff all the time. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, Black Lives Matter, we're not out there trying to instigate. I'm not saying I'm a part of it and out demonstrating and everything, but it's just that's my opinion. I just believe that Black Lives Matter is a movement to try to survive.
More of a reaction.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay.
What you think, Farron?
They, it's, I was talking with, I work with a lot of law enforcement. I work with, I've been in, when I was working in substance abuse and mental health, and I talked to a lot of them, and they talk about, the police brutality, and, my thing to that we talk about a lot is we don't necessarily need individuals to do right. In terms of as a people, as Black people, I think, we're the most resilient of all. I mean, we've had to be. But, we don't need you to start doing right. We just need y'all to stop doing wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't asking y'all to push us to the forefront. We just need not be pushed to the forefront when y'all want to do some dirty shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
right.
That's what I'm getting from it. And everybody want to, they want to try to, in terms of that, that white nationalism thing. The one thing we talk about, the gentleman who just left the office.
right.
I got to give him respect in one aspect. He said when he came in office, he was going to blow everything up. He said that.
All right.
And he did that. I can't be, he did what he said he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? But, that trying to equate everything to, let's get the field even once. Let's just do it even once. And let's just go for broke. I got great Caucasian family. I got great Asian family. I got great, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? I just need them bad apples that they be talking about.
Right.
Not be so bad. And I need the good apples to kind of stand up every once in a while.
Right. Right. Yeah, the good apples, because I mean, my thing is if you're not you call yourself a good apple and you letting stuff go on, you're part of the police force or whatever, you letting that stuff go by, I mean, then you're a bad apple yourself.
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line. You letting it slide. You letting guys get beat up and hit for no reason and because a guy is having a bad day. If I'm a police officer and I got a partner or I see another police officer do something and that blue code and all that stuff, man, I mean, to me, that blue code should come when you trying to help somebody out or something. But when you come in killing people and hurting people like that, man, you gotta stand up and do what's right. What's right is what's right.
Well, I understand that. Here's my problem. You have two narratives. You have the person who wants to do what's right, or you have the person that would rather go along to get along. So the question is your conscience going to let you do what's necessary? So we can say this all day, but that's an individual choice. And I just don't understand. And in a lot of cases, dudes don't want to rock the boat. So, hey man, do what you do. I don't see it because I don't want to mess up what I have.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I agree it's an individual choice, but it's become a collective choice because it's been absolved so many times. It's been pushed under the rug that now it's an option for you to go along with it because there's no penalty. It's not punitive anymore. There's nothing. I mean, when they had the Rodney King incident and that was all in the news, that was relatively fresh.
We are part of a society now where you can't hide. Everybody has a camera. Everybody has access to, so the question, do you really want to say something? Like I said, do you want to give up this pension? Do you want to give up, do you want to be alienated and isolated from the people that you kind of have to deal with on a daily basis? That's a lot to have to or want to give up. So what do you do?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, a lot of officers, I speak, they talking, when you go get that blue line, they talk about, now you risking, not, you out on a call, now you ain't getting back up.
Right. Right.
You out on the, you know what I'm saying? Now now they playing them games. And to that I say, you know, and I'm not a cop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then I say, if you don't, I mean, it's like your woman. If you can't trust your woman, you don't need to be with her.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so if that's the case, if it's okay, I saw a couple years back there was a clip going around social media. A couple officers was harassing these young black kids. Okay, another officer came up on the scene who knew the kids. The officers that were there previous getting real aggressive. Dude pulled a gun out on the kids. The officer that came up pulled his gun on the officers and told dude to shoulder his weapon. Told dude to shoulder your firearm. You know what I'm saying? Period. I know these kids and blah blah. So what I'm saying is, more situations like that. If more of those situations, you know, come up, you know, I think, you know, that culture will change a little bit. And the training is really what kills me, because I'm like, they talk about, you know, like I said the other day, they had a young man was jaywalking. 2 cops get at him, attack him, ended up shooting the boy, killed the boy. Okay. Now I'm like, I watch these Capitol Hill riots, and I watch these motherfuckers. Excuse me. I watch these cats. You know, I'm like, you mean to tell me that none of them fear for their life? That none of them officers fear for their life? Because only one person got killed by an officer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, I saw a whole bunch of people that looked like they was real fearful for their life, and nobody shot one bullet.
Not one bullet.
It was like they were playing with their brother. You was pushing each other. It was weird, man. It was watching like a family fight, like just a push.
Like
wasn't no blood being drawn. No. I mean, you know, no real fighting. You know, some spots it was, but maybe that was when the National Guard came in or something. It was real fight. But when, as far as the actual police, they was just, man, it was play fighting. Yeah, and then they was talking to him, and it was like, go on ahead, man. They was escorting them in and everything.
They opened the gates up. Yeah.
Hey, until they started getting crushed, until they started getting heads bashed in with fire extinguishers and getting impaled with poles. And then they see one thing that amazed me is, don't nobody get a problem until they start getting treated like black people. Then it's a problem. Then, oh my goodness, they're just rushing up in here. Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Everything changed.
Oh my goodness.
So basically,
you'll hear them say that they'll be laying on the ground getting beat, and they say, wait a minute, I'm not black.
I'm not black.
I'm not black. What are you
doing,
doing?
guys? Wait a minute. Wait
a minute. They be handcuffing them and everything. Like that one lady that went to the was at the grocery store, thought she, with her privilege, she thought she was gonna just, you need to check violation such and such or law such and such. That dude was like, no, you get ready to go, you going to jail.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
It was like it happened like a week or two ago. Yeah, she was looking shocked, like, I'm going to jail. Like, yeah,
I'm surprised she was in that kind of stores.
Let me ask you this.
With no mask on, that's what it was about.
Yeah, I thought she'd be in Saks Fifth Avenue. So how dare you?
Blame for Capitol Hill.
Who's the blame?
Yeah,
Trump.
Oh, solely.
Well,
okay. Let me ask you this. If you just playing devil's advocate.
Right. I know you like to do that. That's good though. We need that.
Let's play devil's advocate. If you listen to the speech that he gave, remember, he said, go down there peacefully.
Yes.
All right. Wait, let me finish. He said, go down there peacefully. And he also was giving a speech when they were on their way down
at 11:30, 12 o'clock, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. They were already on their way down there when he was still talking. So does he get a pass for his language? Or is he all in because he's the one who had been talking about it for months prior?
Let me share this. if we took it solely on what it was, and it was just a speech, and it had no precursor,
Right.
to his entire 4 years, to his entire the whole 9. We talking about, let's go back to his rallies. He was talking about punch him in the face, I'll pay for your bills.
Right. Get him out of here. Get him the hell out of here.
Take him out on the stretcher. It would be on the stretcher. You know what I'm saying? If all that was gone, maybe I could see a little bit of that. I could see maybe. But that, all the totality, they look at your prior acts. When you go to in front of that judge, when you go in front of your boss, they look at your prior acts.
Right. You build a case. A case has been built.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, you can't just go on one thing. He's got a history. Your history. You know, it's like you tell your kids, you know, your kids, one time you do something wrong, and then you let that go. You're like, okay, well, I'm talk to you, but I let it go.
Right.
Another time he do something wrong, and then he keep getting suspended.
Right.
Like, wait a minute now. We got a track.
Coming in the crib late now.
Right. Right.
You keep coming in the crib late. I don't know. All right.
So were you disappointed in the impeachment?
Okay, let me jump in. Let me share 2 quick points, and then we're gonna come back to that, because I think it's important to bring the white nationalists what they're deeming a movement in. So according to the SPLcenter.org, which identifies and kind of rates well, I don't want to say rate, they address items with regards to white nationalism. White nationalism groups have had difficulty raising money for their agendas. They've had to go to Bitcoin and Montero, which I don't even know what that is. That's some underground stuff we probably won't even know about. And also, the federal government has provided 14 hate groups, including the American Renaissance PPP money, Protection Program money. Yes. PPP money. I don't know how you deem it or what you call it, but the feds, as we know, Tom Brady, premier quarterback, received large amount of sums for his TB12 charity. And they're saying, you're making all this money, you tossing a Lombardi trophy across the river drunk, give us some money back to the feds. But we're going to get back to that. The movement, and this is where we're going to come back to you, Shaq. The movement, there's 2 movements moving forward since January 20th. One is to focus on harnessing the populace anger, and 2 is the frustration at Trump's loss and to move forward. The frustration at Trump's loss. They're calling that a movement for their base. Now, what was your question, Chuck?
I forgot now.
What was your question? Wait a
Wait a minute. Which one? Are you? Because I asked you a few things, and then my mind went blank. So which one?
Yeah, I gotta hit you in the head, man, with the facts, man. Hey,
which one?
Is Trump part of the equation? Where are we at?
Okay. Is he part of it? Is he responsible for what happened, or is he, or you know, or if you listen to the speech itself, or do you go about like Karen said, as far as the inclusion of the whole thing, the whole 6 months or 4 years, or even let's say 6 to 9 months when he was at his rallies, when he was talking about, you know, it being fixed and this, that, and the other.
Central Park is longer than 6 months, but go ahead. I'm gonna let somebody else weigh in on that. Central Park is longer than 6 months. It's not. Go ahead, Reese.
So you're going all the way back to you're going all the way back to Central Park 5.
This is who he is.
Yeah, but remember, he wasn't a politician then. So do you include that as well?
But that's the reason why a lot of people on the conservative people jumped on Trump, because he wasn't a politician. He was supposed to be he was going. What did they say? He was going to muddy the water or whatever.
Right.
They say
Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp.
So their big thing was that he wasn't going to
What?
you know, he wasn't a politician like Biden has been in what 40, 50 years. Right.
Well, ask yourself this: 75 million people voted for him. There's going to be anger because 75 million people did go out and vote for him. So yeah, there's going to be some outstanding anger because they thought, but yet he kept saying things and putting things out there. Someone was going to take it and run with it themselves. Now, is he responsible? Okay, language matters, but is he responsible for saying it and then them acting on it?
He played up on his base. I mean, you got the KKK behind you. You got the what do they call the Proud Boys, which I'd never heard of till about a couple months ago.
Right.
And then you got all these different white nationalist groups behind you, and you don't denounce them. I mean, he did what he did. He denounced them
under duress. That's what he did.
Right. He had to be pushed to denounce them.
I don't even know if they was denounced though. He just kind of tried to sidestep it. My thing, it's like one thing that I learned over these last 4 years, man. I got a racially diverse. I know a lot of people, okay,
Right.
and a lot of people showed their true colors when this shit came out, cause okay, we all cool, okay, we all fam. If you beating the shit out of your woman, we can't be peoples.
Right.
We can't be cool peoples. I mean, we just ain't gonna be cool like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gonna say something about that?
Right.
I ain't gonna just turn my head like you done just did some crazy ass. I just turn my head. I ain't gonna do that. What I found out with a lot of these people, I got some cats that I went to school with, that I played ball with, and they always justifying it, or they this, that, or the other. This why I'm like, let me get this right about this. Okay, even about this COVID shit, this pandemic. Only reason y'all don't believe what the facts are telling you about this is because this guy said it, and the only reason he said it is because he wasn't prepared. That's the only reason he said it. And the point that he was making, Sean, about the 75 million people voted for this cat. Think about it. That means if you got two people in this country, one of them supports this dude. One of them support. You got two people. Out of every other person, somebody support this dude. 80 million voted for Biden. 75 million voted for Trump. So if you believe in this dude, it's ingrained. It's here. Now my big thing was only reason Trump was president was because he was anti-Obama.
Right.
And I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it. I don't mean to cut you off, but I got to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
I think when he ran against Hillary, I think people went in that voting booth and they basically said, I'm not voting for her. Not so much the fact that it was a woman, it was the wrong woman. So they was like, I'm not doing it. So I'm a sometimes you got to dance with the devil.
Yeah,
so
I feel you.
Right.
My thing with Hillary, I mean, and it was Hillary, white woman, you know what I'm saying? But she was the closest. Now this could just be me, but his thing was the anti-Obama thing was just huge because when people talk about him, they talk about Hillary a little bit and lock her up and all that bull, but everything goes back to Obama. It's right. Obama. It's Obama. And I'm like, if your issue, race has defined us from day one. Race has defined this nation from day one. Ain't nothing wrong. People tell me they don't see color and they whatever. But if your only issue, I had a guy ask me, he was like, when Obama was elected, he was like, you only voted for him because he was black. My response to that was, is that the only reason you didn't vote for him?
Right.
Oh, he's stunned. He was moonwalking. He was getting Michael Jackson on. I'm like,
right.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Trump done had a hellified facade. He been blessed with unbelievable, fortune. Right. You know what I'm saying? How do you trick off 500 million that somebody done just gave you between
Right.
his dad, between this, all the, I mean,
The
it's gone.
bankruptcy, you saw that. Yeah, yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So if you think that individual is going to run the country in the correct way,
Right. No.
ah,
And that's how, a lot of these, we talk about white nationalist group, that's how all of them got together, is when Obama got those 8 years.
right.
They just, that's when all of them that got together and start, combining each other. And I mean, they got even more of a force because they were pissed. They were pissed that black man and his black family was in the White House. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
Not just in the White House. No scandals, no challenges, no
Right.
issues.
Right. Right. And Trump got a scandal and every other day.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you, now this is my opinion. This is just my, as a politician, you a crook already, because I mean, everybody's looking for money when it comes time to get elected.
Right.
When you
Right.
get elected, now can't nobody find no money. Now can't nobody find no money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they all got goods and bads. I got,
Right.
it's some Republican mindsets that I agree with. It's some Democratic mindsets that I agree with, and some that I don't buy, either way. But I'm like, this, a big time. A lot of people hit me with, they'll say, "Oh, Murph, you being so diversive." I'm like, let me get this right. Y'all said Obama was the most divisive president.
Oh, okay.
Why is that? Because he didn't look like the other 43 of them. That makes him
Right.
that makes him the divisive one.
Right.
Right.
I'm saying? It's
All that,
go ahead, baby.
all that does, that just goes back to them kind of losing that grip on power.
Right.
That's all that is. You see it slipping away. Now you become violent. You become angry because you like, this ain't the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be in control. So that just goes right back to that.
Right. And they look back at their ancestors and they go, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather rolling over in his grave.
Right. I can't believe it.
This is how they feel. And they don't want to let go. Like you say, they don't want to let go of that grip. And I don't know, as far as like, are they still joining forces? Are they gonna fall apart? Are they gonna get stronger? Well, what's gonna happen now? What if something comes along like the Capitol building again or something crazy? What's Biden gonna do this time?
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna do? Is he gonna do something when now he the president? Is he gonna send in the National Guard, or is he gonna let that slide? It's a lot of stuff that you just don't know what's gonna happen.
One thing I'll say, if Trump did nothing else, and as a black man experiencing racism, he brought it to the forefront. So now you know what you're dealing with. Jokers are so bold right now. Anything and everything goes. You know what you're dealing with right now.
And people can't say like they used to. Oh, there's no racism. This, that, another.
Yeah.
This, that, another. No, it's right here in your face. Stepping on people. Killing a man by kneeling on somebody's neck in front of cameras and standing there with his hand in his pocket like I'm a king and I'm doing this. I'm gonna do this in front of everybody, and I'm not gonna get. And I believe they're gonna find a reason for him not to. They're gonna acquit it. So this is what we're dealing with.
People can still say there's no racism. People can still say it because they can also go to the narrative. It's never happened to me before.
Right.
So people can still say that, but the question is what you see and your experience is there a correlation? So
And the thing about it, people see, and it's crazy, man. People see things different. Like you see a man getting beat, man getting choked to death, a man, and one person will say, "Oh, that's awful. That guy should spend the rest of his life in jail." And another person will say, he was justified. He shouldn't have been doing this. He shouldn't have been doing that. This world is jacked up, man. Seriously, it's jacked up. You can't see a man fighting for his life with his last breath, and one person to say that he's resistant, and another person to say that he was fighting the cops. He deserved what he got. It's unbelievable. The hate in this world is just unbelievable.
Yes, I will say this in terms of that, Trump's issue with this Capitol Hill shit. I think the telltale thing is, as confident and as dominant as he's been on that social media shit, he could have stopped all of that from one simple tweet. He could have stopped all of it.
Right.
Later on, he went on with the okay, no, go home. Yeah, after you done blew the damn place up, now you everybody calm down, everybody calm down.
Right.
He wanted it done. He could have stopped like all of them saying. He sent us down here. You remember in his speech, Sean, you referred to his speech. He like, I'll be there with you.
Right.
I'll be marching down
together.
Right. With you. That nigga got in the car and went to Mar-a-Lago.
He went the other way. Yeah, he went the other way.
Right. He was on a plane or something, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah. He could have stopped that shit as soon as he wanted to.
They said he was on the plane drinking champagne and kicking it.
Kicking it. He was like, woo hoo, ha ha ha, the whole nine.
On my way out the door. I'm on my way out the door, and they're gonna tear this place down. And then with what Mayor Giuliani, he has some language that he said we're gonna go down there and tear it up. But what did he say?
Right, we gonna take it by force. You can't be weak. We gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so
all them is trigger words.
All them is trigger words. But I tell you what, now this the one thing you say is it changing? That white nationalism is deep and it's tough. But I tell you what, that one cop, the one cop that I love over all of this whole thing. And I hate to, I ain't taking no solace in nobody's death. But that white woman who tried to crawl through that window, right?
Oh yeah.
That crawl through that window,
right?
And my man told her stop.
Yep.
She thought that white privilege was gonna get her all the way through.
Yep. And I watched that thing over and over again. I don't know if she heard him because she was in the back, and then everybody said, the one guy said, he's got a gun. Stop, right. He's got a gun. And then the other dude behind him didn't hear him, and he said, let's go. And then that's when she jumped up in there because she was behind everybody. I don't believe she heard him when he said that he had a gun, and man,
I tell you, she had eyes though, because that gun was looking right dead in her face. Hey,
dirty hearing.
As being someone who's I've been on the other side of a barrel, and that makes you very aware. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah. He put something. He lit her up on that one. Yeah, that was something.
Oh man, and even still, after she fell, okay, they was like, it's just a flashbang. It's just a flashbang. Right. Don't worry. Until
whatever that is, I mean, I don't even know nothing about guns. What's a flashbang? What's that?
I think they shoot it off.
It's like a sound. It gives you the sound. It gives you the bang. It gives you the sound to make you, to startle you. Now,
okay.
You would think they would use those in those situations where, you got a guy who's in the car with his wife or a woman and kids, and you shoot him in the chest. You would think he would do something like that there.
Even like a rubber bullet or something, a rubber bullet, you hit somebody right with that, rubber bullet, it's going to
shut them down.
Hurt you. It's going to slow you down. And then pull out the big guns if they still keep gunning. But, it's whatever. I mean, you had to know, if you was in that crowd, you coming in there as black people, we know. We come in there, you're going to get lit up. So you already know that it's going to be a whole bunch of deaths, not no one or two.
Let
a whole bunch of deaths.
Let that be reversed. Let that be 30,000 pigment-filled people. I ain't gonna even say black people. Let that be 30,000 pigment-filled people breaking through them barricades and hitting the doors. And I guarantee you'd have seen helicopters coming up. You would have seen tanks. You would have seen alligators. I mean, whatever.
They'd have bombed the place.
Exactly. Because
they'd have just been a wipeout.
Because they've done it before.
Right.
They've done it before.
Done it before. You know,
That's
so
right.
we already know what it is, but so what you got, D?
Man, hey, we gonna, man, I'm just sitting here, man, in amazement with where we're at, where this whole movement, if you will, is moving forward, and what is constitutionalized as okay versus not okay. And we're dealing with today's norms. This is the norm now. As a black man, beware. You're dealing with today's norm. As a black woman, black child, beware, because anything can go awry at any given moment. We try to stay out the way, but that doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily mean.
but that don't that kind of tie in with the death of Rush Limbaugh this week? The white nationalist, you know, he was a what you call a whistle.
Dog whistle.
Dog whistle for that, because
Yeah.
he would, what they call them, ditto heads or whatever, that
Yeah.
he would come out with for the week. That was his MO. He'll come out for the week and explain whatever it was in their favor, and then all the ditto heads, all the radio guys, Hannity, and all them guys across the country would
Fox
repeat,
News Network.
right,
Yeah.
repeat what he said, and that would be a talking point. So that's Rush Limbaugh was big for that, man. He was one of the leaders of that, man. And he's one of the reasons why Trump got
Elected.
elected.
Excuse me, I'll say selected. I won't say elected. I'll say selected.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good move. Yeah, that's a good move.
So what do y'all think about Rush Limbaugh dying?
Here's my problem with I guess Limbaugh to a point. I listen to him periodically because I need to hear what they got to say.
Absolutely.
I see nothing wrong with him saying what he said. It was his right. He had the freedom of speech. My problem is when you have someone on the other side, like a Farrakhan or a Jeremiah Wright or ones, and they say something, then they're racist. How is it is saying this, but he's not racist? But this cat is saying this, and he shouldn't be associated with Obama or different ones like that. I think it's very kind of one-sided. If he's allowed to say this, then this one should be allowed to say this.
Go ahead, Farron.
It goes back to the power structure.
Hey, man, I'm double duty in here. I'm getting a little eat while we're doing this, so please forgive me. But I was talking with some white kids the other this few months back. You know, I'm an official. I've been an official for years, and
right.
I'm out there with some 16-year-olds. We working some baseball, okay? And it's in a predominantly white area, and a dude drove his truck down to the field because we were separate. A dude drove his truck down to the field that had a big rebel flag on the back. Okay, he just drove his truck down there and then drove out. So a lot of the people was really, you know, kind of giving it to him like, get that out of here, the whole nine. But I was talking with these. I was on first base with the first baseman and the other kid that was on the team. And what they were saying was, you know, this stuff gonna have to die out. Their opinion from two white young men was like, this stuff is so ingrained. It's been all of their life. It's been all of our lives as well. But they like, this is a hate that's gonna have to die out. And I thought about that. I've thought about that since they said it. I'm like, you right. It's gonna have to die out because it's so deep. It's so ingrained. It's kind of who.
Yeah. We lost him briefly here.
Unmute yourself.
Muted.
Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I think he does have a point. It's going to have to, but at the same time, do we have, not in our lifetime, I don't think it'll happen in our lifetime, but my children,
Right.
will they ever see anything different than I'm seeing? It's you know, it's going to be It's going to be very interesting,
Oh, you bet.
you know. So
Okay. Hey,
it's going to be very interesting.
Right. You're right. It's going to be like you do look at your kids and saying, you know, what they're going to have to deal with one day, you know, in life. But you know, it's just you bring these kids into the world, and you just wonder what it'd be like 100 years from now or 50 years from now. So you just have to believe that everything is going to be okay. You know.
that's right.
Yeah, just keep the faith.
Keep the faith. That's it. So D, what else we got on the agenda? We got. Did you want?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up on this one. Murph, you got something?
No, I'm good, baby. I'm trying to get my I think I think I'm disabled, my boy. I think you got
right.
my fault.
No, we can hear you. That's
We
good.
can hear you.
I'm good. I'm good.
So D, what was we talking about the Serena Williams?
You know what? Y'all want to dive into that one, or you want to set up a second on that one there? That's a whole that one there.
It's up to you.
Yeah, let's wrap this white nationalist up, and we can jump right back on with that one, because that's a different topic that's going to be of yeah. So folks, we're gonna go ahead and close this one on out. We got couple more coming back at you. We're gonna try to get on the regular schedule here again. Again, we thank you for your patience here with regards to us trying to get out these videos here based on, of course, the COVID and a host of other things going on in today's climate here. But I thought it was good. Black men discussing white nationalism, talking about the current society, police brutality, and all that. Got a couple more coming at you here real soon. Again, I'm D Rizzle, kind of hosting this thing. We got our cats in the booth. Shaq, go on to close it on out if you want. Any parting words?
It was good discussion. That was it, man.
All right, cut to the chase. Reese, Big Reese, what you got?
Definitely a great, discussion. We need to talk about it more. Maybe, we can give our perspective a little more, without being under duress, So I think it was excellent topic, excellent conversation, and yeah, it was nice.
All right, Farron, you there? Where you at?
Good people, man. Hey, thanks, man. Definitely, man. It's always good to share knowledge with each other, man. And we just got to keep your head on the swivel.
Jump back on. You got your video on? Where your video at?
Okay.
There you go. All right, good deal. So we're going to close it on out. We got another one coming at you here. We're going to give a preview. We're going to discuss what happens to individuals within their race that marries and dates outside of their race. Well, I don't even want to say date. Marries, kind of relocates themselves from the race. How is that accepted? At what level do we deem them from a status standpoint? And kind of go from there. All right. We're going to close it on out, fellas. Appreciate that there.
God bless.
Okay.
All right. Yes,
God
sir.
bless.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
All right, y'all.